John Glenn's legacy truly goes beyond the walls of the Glenn College. Participating in WAPE and MPA DC program, it was obvious how many Ohioans had a seat at the table in those rooms in DC. And it's incredibly meaningful. And the mentality that you should always be part of something that's bigger than yourself, I think it is, again, part of the reason why I wake up in the morning.
All of us have benefited from working for Senator Glenn and with Annie as well. And we would not have been as successful in our careers if it had not been that early experience with Senator Glenn. And we're very grateful for that. And we want to continue his legacy.
So as a graduate of the John Glenn College of Public Affairs, one thing that inspires me the most about Senator Glenn is this letter that I was gifted by my parents upon graduation. It is a letter from the senator that describes what it means to be an American. And the line that sticks out to me most is the line that states, "Americans are the people who make democracy work." And I think that that is what the John Glenn College embodies. It's creating endless possibilities and opportunities for students to be able to make it work.
To be a public servant is an honor. You're working for the people, you're working for your friends, for your family. And along with that, you're opening up your experiences. You're opening up the possibilities to see what else is out there, what more you can learn. Being a public servant, you're on the go and really working for more than just yourself.
When you're in WAPE as a student, I think that the main thing that you learn is that the opportunities are only limited by yourself. And so getting out of your own way and making them happen for yourself is what the program is designed to do. It provides mentorship, so that way you can learn from someone and hear the advice from someone that's been through it. You are being able to network with people that you otherwise may not have known that existed in the field. And you are also, networking and building relationships with WAPers while you're in the program who will be vital to your growth and your career path.
You're not just a mentor or an intern host for one semester. You're in it for life. You are going to be there during their careers. You're going to suggest they tweak this way or that way. They'll take your advice or not. But the fact that they've reached out to ask a question means that they are thinking and they want to be the best citizens of the planet that they can be. That is who Senator Glenn and Mrs. Glenn were. They were the best citizens of this planet. In his case, the entire galaxy.
I feel so lucky to be doing what I'm doing right now because I can trace back the through line of what I very much enjoy about what I'm currently doing, what I'm so interested in, what drives me, all the way back to just the first days when I started in my first job on the Hill, which of course for me started with that internship through the WAPE program.
I always knew that I wanted to end up in Washington, D.C. ever since my 8th grade field trip. And what Washington Academic Internship Program allowed me to do is to actually live my dream. Washington, D.C. is its own culture, and being part of the WAPE program, you're able to understand the language a little bit. You're able to understand how people are working together and how the system operates and works. And so being part of the WAPE program, you're kind of on the inside for a little bit. You're able to figure out how to navigate and talk to different people in the fields that you want to end up in.
Some of the most foundational skills that I learned from the Glenn College were hard skills like public policy analysis, budgeting, understanding how a bill becomes a law. But the things that truly shaped me as a public servant and the skills that I utilize every single day are the soft skills. How to be authentic, how to network with people in a meaningful way, how to be intentional about my follow-up. All of those things I learned from the Glenn College.
I felt so lucky and so thankful that there was a program like the WAPE program for me to utilize and be able to come out to Washington, D.C. and explore a whole other side of public service that I didn't think was maybe all that accessible to me, right? It seemed like something that I would watch in shows like The West Wing or maybe in Veep or different shows. It didn't feel like something, I think to your point earlier, it didn't feel like something that maybe a kid from a small town in Ohio could just move himself out to Washington, D.C. and make it. It can't be overstated enough the impact that this program can have on public servants and sort of public service as a whole.
When I was the office manager for U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown on his re-election campaign, I had an intern say to me, "Christine, why are you so nice to interns?" And I was like, "You are going to be my boss someday." And I mean it. Like, the people who are going through the Glenn College are future leaders that we need to invest in, because if they're not my boss, they're going to be the people that are making the policy decisions that impact me every day, whether it's because I'm an aging Ohioan, or because I'm a new homeowner, or because I want to take public transportation into the office. These are all things that future leaders will have a seat at the table to make those decisions, and I want to invest into those people.
These are the kind of relationships you have with these young people that really give you faith in our future. But we don't get to the greatest future that we could possibly have without their stepping up to be our future leaders. And this program does that for them.
There are no limits to something when we choose something larger than ourselves. And I would say that it's not always having to be through money. It can be time, talent, and treasures. All of us have something that we can give back to a program that has done so much for us. And so I would encourage both donors and supporters of the program to continue giving to it in order for it to be what it is for generations to come.
I think investing in future public service workers, future public servants, it's just critical. It's something that we absolutely need to do. And I think, a quote that I always come back to is, there's nothing more important than a well-informed electorate, right? And I think that's absolutely true. I would caveat that, though, that there's several other groups of people that should also be well-informed. Well-informed electorate, well-informed advocates and folks who are passionate about issues. And I think thirdly, if not more, but thirdly, and not the least of which, well-informed public servants, public officials as well.
Alumni and donors should continue to support this program because they are our future. And we need to groom the next generation of leaders, whether they stay in public service or not. This is our future, and John and Annie would be so proud of all of them, but again, it's part of their legacy to help these young people be successful and train them for a future in public service.
I hope WAPE continues for another 25 years because we are always going to need public servants. We are always going to need passionate students who want to come to DC and shape the future of America. We are always going to need those who want to be here.